how can we then work out what message a particular ailment or illness might have for ourselves?
Shall we say, there is an old saying, the body, the physicality is a microcosm of the macrocosm. Big words. As below, so above. As above, so below. So one can recognize that the physicality is a reflection of cosmic order. And that is why it is said that man is built in the image of God. So shall we say, then everything has its purpose. Shall we say, let us take, for example, there is a liver ailment. Lots of people have liver ailments. They are unable to process waste. You understand? How do you let go of waste if you have, shall we say, blockages? Blockages that are not dealt with turn into serious concerns. So various elements of the rectal passages occur. All sorts of things, shall we say, from diverticulitis to cancers, all sorts. All of it related to the release and the processing of waste products, things that are no longer viable for oneself and are toxic to the system. They can relate to all sorts of personal qualities. Even, shall we say, if one becomes emotionally connected, shall we say, to the recent pollution problem on the planet. You understand, pollution of the planet has to do with pollution in the system, both at the cosmic level and at the personal level. Does that make some sort of sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it isn't whether there is pollution. Of course there is pollution on the physical level. It is how emotionally connected and churned one is with that. Shall we say the latest, of course, is your Alzheimer's and your dementia and your loss of memory. Of course. Of course everybody wants to forget. You understand what is there to remember? That one is trapped, that one feels out of control, that one's life is unimportant, and all of the other issues. That someone who is not interested in living. Do you follow what I mean? Who has given up because everything is out of control once again. And so it banks up in the processing elements. All of it, of course, is locked in by a ever hardening crystallization of the point of view, the perspective one has on the reality. Shall we take another view of this? Shall we ask for some thing that springs to your mind?
In terms of a particular ailment or illness?
Of course.
What about specific cancers? Each cancer
Of course.
has a different role in the body.
Of course, each one taking a different role, and each one to do with the processing of various things. You understand? Let us take the heart. The heart is an interesting one because the heart has many illnesses, but it is not associated with cancers. You understand? Of course, there can be associations. Of course, there can be cell growth secondary, but in the end, primary heart problems are not of that making. The heart is either, shall we say, broken, or it is closed down. Mostly, of course, it closes down. Mostly, of course, shall we say, the valves stop working. They disallow life to flow through them. You are, shall we say, tensed up and tight. Or one is such an open heart, and then you see what is happening and you are heartbroken, and the whole thing collapses. You understand? So it is, shall we say, all sorts. So you talk about the throat. Of course, the throat has two reasons. One, you cannot swallow it anymore. You cannot allow what is being forced down your throat to go in. So you develop methods for shutting it off. Do you understand? You cannot swallow. And other reasons, of course. One wants to shout, but you cannot, because you cannot open up. You are limited by fear, and always the fear is, if I do this, I will die. But of course, unless you are willing to die, you cannot live.
Thanks for watching. We hope this content resonates and with your help raises planetary awareness. You can get free access to full-length channeling videos by registering at channelingmercredan.com/subscribe or clicking the link in the description.